Today is Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. So we have one more day before we hit December, and then it will be just only 31 days left before we welcome a new year. And also tomorrow we will get paid a bonus, about close to 7 mil or 8 mil won. So I will just pay off my debt from the Shinhan Bank and maybe buy some coin, especially filecoin, for future investment. And the filecoin has something to do with web3. So web3 obviously means there were web 1, web 2, then now web3. And obviously it also means some web technology like HTTP or something like what the browser will fetch files for you. So let's take a look into what the heck is Web3. And also let's read this article for the first time and try to learn something about Web3. And also let's practice English by focusing on pronunciation and picking up some words and phrases that we can use for our day-to-day conversation, or when you have meeting with foreigners, when you have some discussion with other colleagues, foreign or domestic or national. So it's a multi-pronged approach. This is purely academic effort from on my part. I am Korean. I am trying to practice English on a daily basis by choosing and reading one article each day, sometimes 2 articles. But basically, I think like a 0.7 articles per day, because sometimes I skip the days because I get drunk or I'm super busy or super tired. Anyway, let's start to learn about Web3. This is from brave.com, last updated August 19th, 2022. Table of contents. Web3 is another name for the decentralized web. It works a lot like the internet you use every day, albeit with a few important technical differences. Web3 still has familiar websites and apps, from social media and streaming services to news outlets, financial tools, and more. And it's more open in that there's no big tech or government gatekeepers. So how you connect to these sites and apps is fundamentally different. Confused? Don't worry. Let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a bit. Let's back up. Let's back up a bit. Let's back up a bit. Back up. Let's back up a bit. And review. But I lost my stylus pen. Where is it? Where the heck is it? They gotta be somewhere. I finally lost it. Damn. Okay, I found my stylus pen. So here, yep, let's back up a bit. Confused? That's good term. Gatekeepers. The centralized web. What are servers? The internet is a home to millions of websites and apps, all of which are just a click away on devices like smartphones, laptops, smart TVs, and other internet-ready gadgets. Internet, that's another good term, man. Internet-ready gadgets. But these sites all have to live or be stored somewhere. That's where servers come in. A server, which is really just another computer, physically houses the stuff on the internet. When you access online services, sites, or apps, you are communicating back and forth with the servers where they live. And in most cases, apps and sites need lots of servers. Maybe very small sites like a personal portfolio page can be hosted on a single server, but web apps that support millions of users need much more storage. That means that most sites and apps are stored across multiple servers in a distributed manner. If you operate a site, app, or service, you either need to provide your own data storage, also known as servers, or rent from an established data storage provider. That's where big tech companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google come in, and maybe iPhone, Apple. And part of how they've become so powerful, they monopolize. These tech giants offer servers and maintenance at a relatively low fee, and it's often easier for people or businesses to rent servers than run their own. The big service providers also often have lots of server farms around the world, making it easier for apps and sites to distribute their storage across multiple remote data centers. But whether someone runs their own servers or rents them from a storage provider, they mostly have control over them. This model is called centralized because the owner is the ultimate authority over the servers and thus the service. Even if their servers are widely distributed, they are still always controlled via a centralized authority. This is core to how the world web works. In Web 1.0 and 2.0, governments, big tech, and Wall Street, to name a few, are the central authorities that verify your identity, transactions, rights to publish content, even basic access to the web. Web3 then is about moving away from these principles. It's about decentralization. Good. Okay. So here we learn like rights to publish content, and to name a few, and big tech, not big techs, big tech. Big tech is a singular, okay? Wall Street, also singular. Old web works. Authority. What does decentralization in Web3 look like? In Web3, we still need servers to host apps, sites, and services, and they are often still distributed all around the world. What makes the new Web3 model so unique is that the servers, or nodes, as they are known in Web3, are owned and operated by independent parties rather than centralized authorities, independent parties. In other words, they are not only distributed, but also decentralized. This may seem like a small difference, but it has big implications for the future of the internet and how we use it. It's both a technical and an ideological difference. Decentralization is the heart of Web3, and it's all about putting control of the internet into the hands of the people who use it and to contribute to it, rather than big tech companies. Big tech companies, okay? That's plural now. is all about putting control of the internet into the hands of the people. It's all about putting control of the internet into the hands of the people. It's all about putting control of the internet into the hands of the people. That's good expression. Ideological difference. Decentralization is the heart of Web3. Decentralization is the heart of Web3. So those are expressions that I would like to remember. It's all about putting control of the internet into the hands of people. Decentralization is the heart of Web3. Web3 model of ownership is, however, much more complex and trickier to achieve from a technical perspective. To have fully decentralized ownership, Web3 relies on cutting-edge technology like blockchain and crypto to coordinate nodes and to incentivize independent parties to run those nodes. Incentivize. Okay. Yeah, I was just incentivize. Incentivize. That's a verb form of incentive. Incentivize. Anybody can then build on top of these networks, effectively choosing to use decentralized nodes to host their sites, apps, and services. The result is that the networks powering Web3 are said to be decentralized, meaning no single party or group of parties have complete authority or control over them. Nobody has special privileges like the ability to see all the network traffic or to shut off access for certain users. Blockchain networks rely on independent participants rather than centralized big tech companies to keep things up and running. And individual participants are incentivized to do so by earning crypto rewards for supporting blockchain networks. Crypto rewards. Incentivized. Crypto rewards. Incentivized to earn crypto rewards for supporting blockchain networks. Keep things up and running. Big tech companies. Keep things up and running. Big tech companies. Earning crypto rewards. The apps and sites that are built on the blockchain networks of Web3 are called decentralized applications or DApps. Okay, DApps, decentralized applications. This term really just means that they are collectively hosted by nodes that belong to independent parties rather than the servers of one singular controlling entity. Technically, anybody can make their computer available to the network as a node, but practically speaking, it's advanced computers that perform best as nodes, so most nodes are still operated in large-scale setups, just without the centralized ownership. Why should you care about decentralization? Web3 works just like the old web, but with different decentralized infrastructure backing it. Why is that such a big deal? There are two main reasons. First, Web3 is much more secure, private, accessible, and resistant to censorship than Web 2.0. Second, Web3 also represents a new philosophy for how the internet should work and who should be in control of it. offering individuals a chance to shape the future of the web. Advocates of Web3 say that in this regard, it democratizes or demonopolizes the web. It puts the power back in the hands of the user. It puts the power back in the hands of the user. That's good expression. It puts the power back in the hands of the user. It puts the power back in the hands of the user. Democratizes. Web3 advantage. Compared to today's centralized version of the internet, Web3 is more secure. Thanks to cryptography, resilient thanks to globally distributed infrastructure, resistant to censorship because there aren't central authorities to block access to content, open because nobody needs permission to participate, private thanks to the lack of decentralized servers, there isn't privileged access to data. Open because nobody needs permission to participate. Private. Thanks to the lack of centralized servers, there isn't privileged access to data. Private. Thanks to the lack of centralized servers, there isn't privileged access to data. Private. Open. Nobody needs permission to participate. Resistant to censorship because there aren't central authorities to block access to content. Let's look at each of these benefits in more depth. Security. Web3 is more secure and private than Web 2.0 thanks to the cryptography that's backed in. For example, a Web3 user accesses a DApp with a private key, sort of like a cryptographically secured passport, instead of a username and password, private key, sort of like a cryptographically secured passport. This puts you in control of your own data. There's no need to trust central authorities to store and verify your credentials when you go to log in. Resiliency. While nodes and servers can be distributed in both Web3 and Web 2.0, there's typically more distribution in Web3 because the big tech companies of Web 2.0 tend to concentrate the server farms in strategic areas. With nodes spread all over the world, owned and operated by independent parties and individuals, it's much less likely for one event to cause an outage or downtime on the networks that make up Web3. In this regard, Web3 is more resilient, meaning it's less likely for something like a simple power outage to disrupt their service. And widespread outages, like when there's a problem with Amazon Web Services that affects all their data centers and everything they host, are practically unheard in Web3. Resilience to censorship. Decentralized hosting on Web3 means that sites and apps are more censorship resistant than their Web 2.0 counterparts. In Web 2.0, that's possible for authorities like a government or an internet service provider, ISP, to block your access to a site by restricting access to its servers. But Web3 has no central authorities ruling over its blockchain networks and the dApps they support. Because their servers are independently owned and operated, that means there's no controlling parties that can limit access to these services. Openness. The decentralized nature of Web3 makes it open, permissionless, and transparent. Anybody with an internet connection can access it regardless of their location, nationality, age, gender, or any other factors. What's more is anybody can download the required software, become a node operator, and participate in securing a blockchain network as well. There's no need to seek permission because there's no central authority in charge of granting it. Transparent, granting it. Data privacy. When you connect to dApps on Web3, you are communicating back and forth with nodes that are independently owned. Contrast this with Web 2.0, where you communicate back and forth with the servers that have centralized ownership behind closed doors. In Web 2.0, you have to trust the owners of the service you are using to respect your privacy. And realistically, Web 2.0 big tech companies have shown time and again, that they would rather sell your data than protect it. But in Web3, you are dealing with independent parties. There's no central Ethereum corporation, for example, that has privileged access to all of the data sent through its network, or that's following you around the web with trackers. Ethereum corporation, for example, that has privileged access to all of the data sent through its network, or that's following you around the web with trackers. So here we learn that the search words as trackers, central Ethereum corporation, there's a new expression. I should learn something about Ethereum to understand this, but obviously Ethereum is a centralized blockchain, I think, which is bad for Web3 communities. Big tech companies respect your privacy, trust, close the doors. Web3 is an ideological movement. Aside from its technological advancements, Web3 is somewhat of a rebellion. Web3 represents a rejection of the current mismanagement of the internet that disregards everyday users in favor of mega corporations looking to cash in. With Web3, users can freely access the internet and have full ownership of their data. No big tech required. It's a whole new philosophy for how the web should be managed and how users should access it. In a Web3 world, you are no longer dependent on monolithic, centralized authorities like governments, big tech, or big banks. Web3 is about democratizing the internet so that anyone can participate in these networks, run nodes, build dApps, and enjoy the services of Web3 no matter where or who they are. Web3 is sparking tech innovation. Aside from ushering in a more equitable version of the internet, Web3 is also spurring the creation of some really exciting new technology. Web3 is built on blockchain and cryptocurrency, which have opened the floodgates for all kinds of new technological innovation. Floodgates. Blockchain and cryptocurrency, which have opened the floodgates for all kinds of new technological innovation. Cryptocurrency introduced the concept of tokenization, taking an asset and creating a blockchain-backed digital version of it. Tokenization. Cryptocurrency introduced the concept of tokenization, taking an asset and creating a blockchain-backed digital version of it. Maybe sealing in the file network. A cryptocurrency introduced the concept of tokenization, taking an asset and creating a blockchain-backed digital version of it. That led to all kinds of new crypto tokens that capture the value and innovation of Web3. Take the basic attention token BAT, for example, which Brave leverages to create a better world of online advertising for users and advertisers alike. Then tokenization expanded even further as non-fungible tokens, NFTs, first took the digital art world by storm, though NFTs have grown to entail much more than just digital art. NFTs have sparked a new generation of Web3 users to reconsider digital assets and how we own, store, display, and interact with them. NFT galleries gave rise to instances of the metaverse, for example, where digital artworks can be displayed for all to see. In turn, metaverses will surely give rise to even more new technologies. Give rise to metaverse, Web3, digital art, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. But just as much as these new technologies are exciting and innovative for the tech space, they are also powerful and full of potential to benefit other sectors. The first industry to be strongly impacted by Web3 tech was finance, with the introduction of decentralized finance or DeFi, DeFi. But many more will surely follow. Many more will surely follow. Many more will surely follow DeFi. Many industries stand to benefit in various ways from the streamlined, automatic, and trustless systems of Web3. Streamlined, automatic, and trustless systems. Trustless. No central figure or authority to give you trust. Trustless systems of Web3. This includes anything from supply chain, healthcare, insurance, real estate, gaming, social media, and more. Exploring Web3 for yourself. The more people who join the Web3 movement, the more momentum the revolution gains. As people become aware of the problems and inefficiencies of Web 2.0 and make the shift to Web 3, the Internet should gradually become a more equitable and innovative place. But how to join the movement? It's easy. Just switch to privacy-centric web browser with built-in Web3 capabilities like a crypto wallet. Just switch to a browser like a Brave. Download now to experience the easiest way to dive into Web3. Ready to brave the new internet? Brave is built by a team of privacy-focused, performance-oriented pioneers of the web. Help us fix browsing together. Download Brave for Android. Download Brave. Resources FAQ. Oops, there's no dot after Q. Are you sure you are American? Help Center, Community, Status, Transparency Report, Learn, Privacy Policy, Brave Browser, Website and Email, publishers and creators, advertisers, browser, Brave release, Brave beta, Brave nightly, company, about, research, careers, brand assets, media kit, GitHub, blog, Tor, onion address, social media, Reddit, Twitter, Mastodon, Facebook, YouTube, product search, rewards, wallet, firewall plus VPN, talk, news, playlist, all browser features, basic attention token, contact, support, community.brave.com, advertising, ad sales at trybrave.com, business, biz dev development at brave.com, press at brave.com, developer docs, wallet docs, offices, Brave San Francisco 580 Howard Street, Unit 412, San Francisco, California 94105. Choose a language, English, Brave, terms of use, TNC, report a security issue. So we have like a report a security issue. 2015, 2022, Brave Software Inc., all rights reserved. What was the name of the company? So we learn such expressions as back in, put the power back into the hands of the developer, decentralized, incentivize, DeFi, finance, DeFi, decentralized finance. Many things will surely follow. Industry sector, put the power into the hands of the developers, decentralized, incentivized. What else? Backup. Let's back up a bit. Brave.com, Brave browser. What else? Web3, Web 2.0, resilience, resilient, open, private, openness, resistance to censorship. Report a security issue, resilience. Why should you care about decentralization, innovative, new technologies? Well, that's it. Thanks for listening. It was a good primer, but I would like to read one more article so that I could fully understand what Web3 is.